As the elections across 5 states have wrapped up and the process of government formation is initiated, today in Punjab, the Aadmi Party has sworn in its first ever cabinet. On the 16th, Bhagwant Mann was sworn in as the Chief Minister at Khatkar Kalan, which is Bhagat Singh's ancestral village.
Today on The Wire Explains, we bring to you the profiles of candidates that caught our eye and the emergence of a new political class in Punjab. In the newly elected 117-member Punjab Assembly, 85 members are first-time MLAs, indicating a generational shift in Punjab's polity. The Assembly will also, for the first time in decade, witness the conspicuous absence of some of the seasoned politicians of the state. Of the 85 debutant MLAs, 82 MLAs belonged to the Aadmi Party. Even Chief Minister designate Bhagwant Mann, who led AAP to an unprecedented victory, will also enter the assembly for the very first time. The seasoned politicians such as the Badals, the father and the son, Bikram Singh Majithia, Captain Amrinder Singh and other bigwigs like Rajendra Kaul Bhattal, who call the shots in the state in the politics for a long time, are no longer there.
Amid the swearing-in ceremony, the Punjab cabinet, which is a 10-member cabinet, is now focusing on uprooting corruption, tackling drug addiction, and setting newer targets for the state. Only one woman has been included in this 10-member cabinet. Harpal Singh Cheema in the cabinet, who has won his seat from Barnala, is the only two-time MLA in the cabinet. While on one hand we see the induction of a large number of doctors in the Punjab Assembly, there are others who have risen to power by struggling and by challenging all sorts of odds which were thrown their way to make their way into power and to acquire their seats.
The recent polls have also resulted in an increase in the representation of women MLAs. For the first time, 13 women will enter the assembly and 11 of them belong to the Aadmi Party. 5 years ago, not more than 5 women could make it to the Punjab Assembly. Among those entering the assembly this year from Amritsar East is Jeevan Jyot Kaur. Kaur paved her way into the assembly by defeating Congress's bigwigs such as Navjot Singh Sidhu and Bikramjit Majithia. Kaur is popularly known as the Pad Woman of Punjab for her significant contribution in promoting reusable sanitary napkins. She led the movement to ensure the availability of environment-friendly sanitary napkins in Punjab schools, in slums and across rural areas. Among the other women entering the assembly this year is Inderjeet Kaur Mann, who is another Aam Aadmi Party candidate from Nakodar. Kaur has been a role model for women of the region for the past 2 decades. As a farmer, she contributed significantly to the region and has made headlines when she launched a massive drive and planted 5 lakh trees. She also started a project to track the sex ratio in villages and honor those villages that improved the female to male ratio. As many as 6,000 women from the area were a part of the massive campaign that she led. The election in Punjab has also witnessed the emergence of several leaders from the fold of the farmers' protests. Anurup Sandhu, a professor at Delhi University, a 29-year-old professor of the Delhi University, was the youngest candidate fighting from Muktsar on the behalf of the Sanyukta Samaj Morcha, the political party which was started after the success of the farmers' protests. Although she did not win, she found a lot of support from her constituency and her ground, and she connected with several people at the grassroots levels. Belonging to a humble background, Sandhu chronicled the lives and the deaths of 799 farmers who died during the movement through her blog, The Human Cost of Farmers' Protests. For the Congress, one of the major upsets of the election defeat was also the loss of the victory for the incumbent Congress Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi from Barnala district. Channi was defeated by more than 34,000 votes by the Aam Aadmi Party's candidate Lab Singh Ugoke, who runs a small mobile repair shop in the constituency. His father is a driver while his mother works as a sweeper in a government school. As per his election affidavit, a 2014 Hero Honda motorcycle is all that he owns. In the run-up to the election, Channi claimed to be a Garib Ghar Ka Beta, which translates to the son of a poor home, while Ugoke centered his campaign around unmasking Channi as a fake Aam Aadmi. Another key candidate who won popular significant support on the ground is former IPS officer and AAP's high-profile face in Punjab, Kunwar Vijay Pratap Singh. He is also known as the Singham of Amritsar. He registered a victory in Amritsar North, beating his closest rival Shiromani Akali Dal's Anil Joshi by a margin of over 28,000 votes. Singh was the former IG of Punjab Police and is known to have initiated a crackdown on the influential sand and liquor groups. Another young candidate, Dr. Sukhmandeep Singh Dhillon, who returned from Ukraine in 2020, contested the polls on the ticket of the Sanyukt Samaj Morcha on the platform of farmers' issues from Taran Taran. Although Dr. Kashmir Singh Sohal from the Aadmi party won the seat, the rise of students, young doctors and professionals signals the beginning of a new chapter in Punjab politics.
Get a sneak peek of exclusive content before everyone else for channel members only. Memberships start at ₹89. Hit the join button below.